Hey guys, welcome to the Weird Kids Podcast, Season 2, Episode 18. Tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff, but first let me introduce to you the guys that are here currently. We got Jordan,
Yep.
and we got Fernando, aka Cybers.
Hey.
Hey, so a lot's happened this week. We're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct. Oh, before I do that, let me tell you the date. Today's September 15th, September 15th, 20XX, 2017. We're going to talk about Nintendo Direct, talk about game piracy, talk about FTL's developer's new game, Into the Breach, Call of Duty Zombies, which I think looks pretty cool, and what's going on with my man's PewDiePie.
PewDiePie's been misbehaving, guys.
So let's start off with the Nintendo Direct. Fernando, I know you're a big Nintendo.
Oh wait, you want to do the intro, the lineup first?
Oh yeah, if you want to talk, you can say the lineup and then we'll go into the stuff.
All right, cool. Every week we go over the list of games coming out for the following week. So here is the video game lineup for the week of September, starting that Tuesday. So September 19th. Okay. So on September 19th, some of these games, honestly, no one really cares about, but still, they matter. On the 19th, we have Echo coming out on PS4 and PC. N-Space coming out on PSVR. Hex Card Clash on PS4. Mary Skelter Nightmares on Vita.
Spooky.
Wow. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. PS4, Xbox One, PC. I know some people are looking forward to that. NBA 2K18, PS4, Xbox One, PC, Switch.
And Switch.
Hey. And then on the 22nd, which is that Friday, we have Pokemon Gold and Silver coming out on 3DS. You have Pokemon Tournament DX Gold and Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal. I might pick that up. We have on the 22nd still, Pokemon Tournament DX coming out on Switch. That will be a day one buy for me. Project Cars 2 on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC. And the Lego Ninjago movie video game. Holy shit, I've been waiting for this one.
Yeah,
I've
seen that
seen
one too.
the ads cluttering up my feed.
Yeah, I have too. Coming out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Switch.
So I guess before we get fully rolling in our momentum, I actually have heard of Hex Card Clash.
You have?
Oh.
If that's what I'm thinking of, it's stemming from Hex Shards of Fate, which my brother and some friends started playing. It's standard like CCG fare, but just original enough to be spiced up and interesting. I think it'll be a solid choice for people who enjoy that kind of thing.
I'm looking at it right now and it looks there's a lot of cards on screen. I never got really into CCG. I only collected them. But
Also, I feel it is important to bring up. I wasn't here last week for last week's episode, but Metroid has a new release this week, and everybody should try it if they can.
Samus Returns.
It came out. I bought it today. I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna wait till I buy a 3DS, like a newer one.
Mm-hmm.
Metroid Samus Returns is pretty much a remake of Samus 2 or Metroid 2. I'm sorry.
I love Metroid. She kills aliens and doesn't afraid of anything.
The thing is, though, it would be this injustice to call it a remake. It's like a reimagining almost. Yes, the layout is there and it follows the structure, but it's like, man, they really remade that game. It's pretty cool. I'm excited to play it.
Solid.
My man also bought it too, so you got to give me a review next podcast.
Yeah.
If you can
Next week,
it.
expect a Cybers exclusive world premiere of Metroid review, only on the Switch. What?
So, all right. So, going from Metroid, let's go into the Nintendo Direct. So,
we have to switch to the Direct.
Have to switch. So I'm not. All right. So I heard you and Evan talking about like saying like there are games coming out for the Switch.
Yes.
There certainly are.
There
So, all right.
definitely are. But what's up?
Oh, no. Finish your thought.
No, I was gonna say like there aren't. I feel like they're not games. I'm not really interested in a Nintendo console, which could which is probably where my bias is coming from. But I'm like there isn't anything here for me. There isn't much. But for other people, there is. So I want to make that clear before we go any further.
Yeah. So I mean, Nintendo's really one of those weird companies where you're gonna really like it or really hate it. And it's interesting you say that because there are games here that I think you may actually like.
I was looking at the Atlas lineup and I'm gonna go through it. So it says the Alive Alliance, which looks cool. I'm kind of interested in that. It's coming for the 3DS, so now I can get another 3DS, and I can
Which 3DS? Are you gonna get the 3DS, the new 3DS, or the new 3DS XL?
Just the 3D. I have a 3DS XL, so I'm gonna
the
get
new or the
no,
old?
I don't know, dude. Like when did the new one come out?
Exactly.
Like there are too many.
That's the joke.
Oh, that's the joke. All right.
Yeah, there's too many of them.
Well, I'm gonna get. I want to. Radiant Historia looks pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of this one Atlas game that came out a while ago, Riviera: The Promised Land. So I want to get my hands on that.
Yeah, with this direct, I had a lot of expectations because I do, and of course, honestly, I'm gonna be blunt. They didn't meet them, but there were some pretty cool announcements, and if I may, I can go over some of the bigger ones, and we can kind of touch on them. So here, I'm just gonna kind of cherry pick. I might not go over everything, and if I do, and you really want to go over it, then just type it in the comment section as we are live. So first off, the biggest news I think. Doom and Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, or whatever, is coming to Switch.
How close are you to saying the new order? How close were you?
Did you just say Wolfenstein 2 of the Colossus?
I was going to say the big Colossus, or the new Colossus. I don't know what it's... The blank
2,
Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus.
Now, this is a massive deal.
Why is it
massive? Because...
Well,
As
yeah.
everyone knows, Nintendo 3DS does not, or Nintendo
Switch, yeah, I know what you mean.
They're all fucking converging at this point. The Nintendo 64 Switch, I don't know.
The Nintendo box.
The
Nintendo.
new Switch Cube.
No, we do have a
3DS.
box. It's called a Cube, but the Nintendo's known for not having third-party support, or and they are known for having kid games. This blows both of those things out of the water because. Not only the Bethesda's not just porting Skyrim, which I'm like, okay, what do you fucking do? They surprised everyone and said, all right, yo, you know that really gory game called Doom? Yo, we're actually going to bring that on Switch? And I'm like, oh, that's a really big deal. Now, in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's a port. It's a year old. I guess. That's cool. And then they're like, oh, by the way, Wolfenstein 2, which isn't even out yet, we're going to also bring that to Switch. And that was really cool. Now that's an announcement. Now obviously it's coming out in 2018, but
what if Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, is just a port of the one that's out for the big boy consoles?
Well, they commented on it, and I mean, it's custom made for the Switch. It's gonna be custom made for the yes. So they're not, and they can't just port it because the Switch can't handle it. Let's be honest, and that's the whole point. Like the Switch isn't gonna look better or nice at all.
Right.
It actually may look nice. I've seen screenshots. It looks pretty cool. But it's more portable, more for the portability. And it's a AAA game.
Yeah.
It's a
Switch,
new... I need to stress that. I'm sorry, Jordan. It's a new AAA game from a third party.
Mm-hmm.
Not
And
a
it's the
port.
kind of, yeah.
No, what were you
It's
gonna say?
what the traditional Wii U audience, for lack of a better term, would... It's definitely a separation in the sense that the people who were buying Splatoon, which I loved, and like JRPGs and Kirby games, are not the same intended demographic for Wolfenstein 2 and Doom. And I think Doom is really an enormous headline here because, like, in a pretty large amount of people's eyes, that was the best console game of 2016.
Yeah, Doom.
I think I haven't. I only played it when it was the multiplayer beta. So my knowledge is really only limited to multiplayer. but it was very nice. It's a modern take on an arena shooter, at least in the multiplayer. And I really thought that was kind of nice, like the fast movement. It was fast gunplay, fast movement, like bunny hopping and shit like that. It was a lot of fun when I played it. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I'm just very happy. Like this is not to mention this wasn't in direct, but LA Noire is coming to Switch. It's a Rockstar game. A really
Well, they did
good
mention
one.
it a little bit. But
Yeah, they did briefly, but the only reason I don't give a crap about that, I mean, I do. I'm buying it on Switch, but
You're gonna
I
get
don't
the
care
LA Noire
because
game
yeah,
They
yeah.
actually did say they were going to have exclusive content, but it sounds pretty
really?
negligible.
for
so I'm not
LA
gonna-
Yeah.
Noire or like just original
LA
content
Noire,
in general.
I think.
For LA Noire's exclusive like Switch, but
I mean,
it's probably,
Probably not going to
one.
be anything like
Yeah, it's not gonna
they
be
might
anything.
have like a couple extra stories, but they're not gonna reopen a game
Yeah.
that came out in like 2011 and start putting.
exactly.
I mean, it's being
It's not-
ported to
As
the
cool
other-
as that would be,
It would be. It's not really a remaster.
Yeah,
as
I
it
mean,
were.
it
was that
kind of like it's a
Alright.
barely a remaster.
before
'cause
we
they're
go
doing-
any further, like remaster and stuff like that? Is the game even that big enough to warrant a remaster? Because I know like
It's not. It's still new. Like it's only. I might be wrong here. 4 or 5 years old. Apparently, it's a really good.
it's really
Yeah.
fun. I played it. I like it a lot.
I can't wait. That's a game. That's a sleeper hit. That's a game I've always wanted to play, but I just never did in the time past. And now, it's gonna make a comeback for me, and I'm totally gonna buy it. I don't know. I think about will I buy it on Switch or PC? I don't know. Well, I'll think about it, but it's definitely gonna be a purchase for me.
Yeah,
Um,
I don't know so much about Sleeperhead as it was a good game that came out in a fairly slow
Yeah.
year. But yeah,
What were the ratings
only-
for the game at the
The
time?
only reason I don't even make a big deal about it though is that it's a 4-year-old game, and I mean it's a game, it's a good game, but I'm just like, I don't know. When I heard Wolfenstein 2 is coming to Switch, my jaw dropped. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, and that's a good thing. And not only so that's a good start. And hopefully, if we get more third parties that are like, oh shoot, the Switch is actually pretty cool. I'm looking at you, Capcom. Like I want some more games from you.
also credit where credit is due. I know we all kind of already like had a bit of a chuckle at Skyrim port, the 27th Skyrim port
Yeah.
in past weeks, but I mean, if you want like a try line for AAA releases,
Yeah,
that is
that's a
not
good
a
game.
bad maneuver at all.
Honestly,
it's setting
yeah.
the precedent so that like because we all know it was never like oh whatever BioShock Infinite coming out for the Xbox, the PS3 and the Wii. It was never like that. But that's the sort of precedent that's trying to happen here, where PS4, Expo, and Switch are going to be sharing a tighter release pool.
Yeah.
But hopefully there's also... Am I the only one who remembers Mad World for the Wii?
All right, Jordan. I remember Mad World. I never played it though. It's in that
Alright.
same. It's kind of like not. This is. I mean, Mad World and No More Heroes kind of just merged together for me
Fair enough.
because it was just. I don't know. I didn't play either, but for some reason in my mind, they're both kind of like the same thing. I know No More Heroes is really good. I don't hear much about Mad World though, and you said you liked it, right?
I mean, it's not, like, spectacular. I'd say it's passable.
It's passable. Like, what did you like about it?
Well, I don't know.
I don't
You're
know.
putting me on
It
the
was just,
spot
it
here.
was just a good. It was all right. I got you. It was just like a good
I
story.
just... Yeah, in
experience.
terms... Yeah. It
That's
just
fair.
felt smooth. I mean, I was thinking more in terms of, like, industry trends.
Uh-huh.
I think it was a fairly good... It was at least a good attempt
Yeah.
for them to branch out a little more, but it was still a bit too early at that point. And then there's one more thing I wanted to say before I forget. I'm actually fairly excited for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. When they announced that. Like, I don't think it's releasing anytime soon, but...
No, it is.
It is.
Well,
It's
soon is
coming
in
out
what?
December.
Yeah. Okay. That's...
Yeah,
no,
holiday.
that-
That's pretty. Yeah. Why not?
Holiday season's definitely just peeked around the corner, so yeah.
Um,
That's definitely cool.
so I'm looking at the scores for LA Noire on Metacritic, and it's scored pretty high. User score is 7.9 out of 10, and Metascore is 83 out of 100.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
definitely a good game. I can't wait. I'm definitely gonna try it out. There's that game, and then that wasn't it. So there's like more Switch.
Yeah, I was looking at the list. It was like
So
again once I see like Skyrim, I'm and NBA, I just kind of turn off for that.
Yeah, just
yeah, no, yeah, that's fine. I mean, let me run down a couple of things. I'm not gonna run down everything.
I want to talk. Did you see the trailer for Project Octopath?
Yo,
That
all
looks
right,
pretty
so
cool.
that is gonna be interesting because. By the way, I need to pause real quick. That name has got to change. Like, please.
Why? It's a
That's-
Japanese. It's a Japanese ass name, dude.
I know it's a working title, but Jesus, that name cracks me up. But no, it's giving me that Bravely Default vibe. I think it's gonna be a good RPG. People are really getting hyped for it. I'm excited. I'll try it out
Don't
probably.
ride that hype train. Wait till it
That's
come
solid.
out, boy.
And it's exclusive for the Switch, which is
Oh,
pretty
really?
cool. Yep. So you can
Huh.
only play it on Switch.
It reminds me of what was it, Owlboy?
Oh,
Which
yeah,
had
I
a
know
bit
what you're
of a-
talking about.
It had a bit of a tailwind, and it was a solid game, but it never really
So here,
it never delivered on the hype in terms of people really feeling the release. It just kind of happened.
So here, let me real quick. Let me just go down the list here, if you guys don't mind,
Yeah.
real quick. So I'll only highlight bigs, I think. So they showed more Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. We got 2 new Pokemon coming in, which is pretty cool.
A fucking
yeah.
wall and a jellyfish
And
with
a,
legs,
and a
yes?
disco jellyfish.
Wait, what about the Marshmallow Shadow? Marsh Shadow?
Marshadow. Well, that's not a new Pokemon. It's gonna come.
I thought you were about
We
to
already
say
knew about
Marshadow.
Marshadow.
I thought you were about to say the
Me
Martian
at this
stuff.
point.
Because Jordan,
Marvin the Martian is the new
I
event.
mean,
Pokemon.
Ultra Beasts are Martians at this point. What else we have?
new confirmed
So,
Pokemon, but ugly Martians.
this is for 3DS, by the way. They start out with 3DS. Kirby Battle Royale for the 3DS. That's cool. Layton's Mystery Journey. A new Layton game's coming. Minecraft is coming on 3DS. On the
Oh.
new 3DS, I should say.
What? Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty big deal.
All right,
not-
so let me say, putting it
It's
on a cheaper Nintendo portable console is going to sell very well.
I think it's gonna do good. It's only on the new 3DS though, so it's gonna, it's not gonna be able to run on the old one. I'm
It'll
assuming.
sell as well as Minecraft has always sold, which is ridiculously good.
Oh yeah,
Really?
and it's a bunch of little kids. So
Yeah, no, I mean like a lot of the market I feel like is, and this is to be said because Nintendo does have a reputation, like we said, kind of had to be towards kids. So I feel like it's definitely going to sell very well on the 3DS XL.
yeah, for sure.
Whatever.
Oh, definitely. What else do we have? So Mario Party, the top 100. It's not even a Mario Party. Eh. They talk about Metro. We already know that. Atlas RPG's Journey to the West. Scott, I know that's a big one for you. Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. So I think it's an Ace Attorney origin story. And then they move on to Switch. So Splatoon 2 is getting a couple maps, or some updates. Snipper Clips. It's getting DLC. It's getting that's a big deal for people.
Snipper
That game's
Clips.
really good, and it's getting more content, which is pretty cool. We already know about Rocket League. Jordan, I want your take on this. Nintendo Switch getting its own exclusive MOBA.
Oh.
What?
I don't know if it's exclusive, but
What?
still.
League of
called-
Nintendo.
Called Arena of Valor. It's a MOBA.
They had to have the of. That's a contractual obligation.
Watch it be Heroes of the Storm, but for Nintendo characters.
Heroes of Newerth of the
Nah.
Storm of the Ancients of Legends.
Other than Doom and Wolfenstein.
That's literally. I'm looking at.
Yeah, my take on it is it's that.
That's literally a map from League of Legends.
If you
That's
if
right
you
out of
told-
League.
If you went 7 years in the past and told me Nintendo was going to make a MOBA,
Hold
I
up.
could have showed you this mock-up.
Look at this. This
I
is
could've-
literally
It's
Swamp.
not Nintendo making it, just to clarify. Different developer, I think.
This is
Right.
literally mid. in League of Legends, and to the left there's the swamp. I'm waiting to see the dragon and the fucking worm.
The swamp, the worm.
The worm. I don't know
there you
the
go.
fucking.
No,
I don't know
no,
the
that's-
scientific names of these fucking characters.
No, it's better that way, Scott.
The slug, the worm, and the dragon.
What else do we have? So, okay, so guys, what's a big requested feature on the Switch that people wanted where they can play old games? What's it called?
Backwards
now?
compatibility.
No, like NES games, stuff like that.
Backwards
Virtual
compatibility.
Yeah, so nope, we're not getting that. We're getting Arcade Archives Mario Brothers.
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when Namco would fucking sell the Namco arcade like 1 through
Yep.
fucking 7? I'm
Yep,
calling
that's
it
it.
right now that's what they're gonna do.
Okay, so what's going on there is that it's not Mario Brothers. It's a bunch of old NES games, but they're slightly changed, kind of like NES Remix. But the concept of this, I think, is that I don't even know. It's a virtual console without being virtual console. It's really stupid, and I really recommend people
So
passing.
it's a
'cause
compilation of old.
it's not a compilation. It's not because they edited it so like it's different. They're all different. Than
So
their
it's a
original.
compilation of edited old video games.
Yep. And yeah, it's a shame. It's really a shame. What else? What other bigger news? I'm trying to see. Octopath Traveler. We talked about. ARMS getting a new update. Pretty cool. Breath of the Wild Champion Amiibos. They got an update. We didn't hear anything about the Breath of the Wild DLC for the second half of the DLC for the season pass.
What the
which is
fuck?
interesting.
Wait, second half
It
of
just-
the DLC?
Yeah, so there's a season pass. The first half came out already. The second half is supposed to come out this year. We know nothing yet.
Oh,
Except
Oh, that's
we
fucking.
really don't.
So
The
in
part that-
Skyrim on the Switch, do you have the Breath of the Wild costume for your?
Yeah. That was announced a bit. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Dragon Quest Builders. I don't care.
That's probably big over in Japan, to be honest.
Oh yeah, hell
So I know
yeah.
Dragon Quest
Kirby
is really
Star
big.
Allies. I'm actually a little disappointed because
yeah?
Kirby. I was looking forward to it. I haven't played Kirby in a while, but then I saw they're really forcing the co-op. It feels like you can control. I don't know. I don't like a game like that where they really try to shove like, hey, you have multiple people in your party. I'm just like,
yeah. No, it's just Four Swords with Kirby.
yeah.
Oh
I don't-
god, Four Swords is so good.
I mean,
I-
it was. They're retreading.
I just
And
don't-
It's fine because it's.
Boy,
I-
if they put Four Swords on the Switch, you know I'd buy a Switch in a heartbeat. You
Oh,
know
yeah.
it, boy. I would buy.
it's not that hard to
con-
find anymore, so go ahead, go for it. I'm trying to see here, and I guess we never really talked about it, but they ended it off with Mario Odyssey. Like, what do you guys think of that game?
We're gonna have so many more weeks to talk about that.
I don't really
Like
care
up until it comes out.
Yeah, all I want to point out is that the internet has been going crazy because Mario confirmed to have nipples, and also, I
What
mean,
is
I'm going
this?
to talk a lot about that game in the future.
Is this
but
the National Enquirer of podcasts? What? Why? We don't need to know that.
The people need to know.
The
Scott.
people need to. The people need not to know what.
Scott,
a
people
cart-
are banging on my window wanting to know details. I'm sorry. And
I
I guess the one last bit from that direct I thought was pretty cool was that there's neon red Joy-Cons, which I bought. They look ugly and I returned them. There's going to be solid red Joy-Cons. So, hey, I'm buying that. If anyone cares about Joy-Con colors. So, and yeah, that was pretty much the direct in a heartbeat. So,
Oh, Super Meat Boy Forever.
oh yeah, that's coming on Switch.
Is that wait, is this a fucking?
You can't just skip over that.
Well,
Yeah.
that's old news though.
That's gonna be cool. Square Enix Lost Sphere.
Yeah, there's Lost Sphere, Sonic Forces, Resident Evil, LA Noire. There's a big chunk
Resident
on that.
Evil.
Yeah,
I'll be
the
talking
Resident
about
Evil
Sonic
Res-
Forces a little more when it.
Which
comes
Resident
closer.
Evil are they doing?
Revelations 1 and 2.
I don't care.
You see? Exactly! That's what I'm talking about! Like,
Yeah, there it is.
that is why Nintendo needs to get, like, the mainline shit, because people like Scott, when they hear that, they're gonna be like, oh, ew.
I mean, I'm everyone here knows I'm a big time Resident Evil fan, but
You
I mean,
will.
Apparently you're not big time enough, so get the fuck out of my
I mean,
fucking server.
Revelations
I'm
is
kidding.
good.
Oh my God.
I never played Revelations 2, but I like fucking item management. I don't like the fucking menu being like Resident Evil 5 and being like, oh, you
Yeah.
get these 9 slots and all
Mm.
these slots
Yeah.
do certain thing, and there's no inherent strategy of planning your item, rationing your items and putting them in safe rooms and going to make sure you have enough space in the box and making sure you have the right items from that box. It takes away a lot of strategy from the game.
How dare you imply that survival horror players should have a sense of urgency?
Oh my god.
That is.
You're right,
Why
Jordan.
would
You
you
know,
do that?
I was in the wrong. You're right. How dare I think that should happen? They've done it before. That was obviously a mistake. They did it for Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh wait, Code Veronica. Fucking. I'm pretty sure Resident Evil Dead Aim did it as well, and that was a first-person shooter. Fucking Gaiden. Oh my god.
Yeah, so that's on the direct, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's the direct, yeah.
What else?
What else we can?
No, I mean,
What do you
I
mean?
think that's. No, I think we. I feel like there was something in the back of my head that I kind of wanted to go over a little bit, but it probably wasn't anything really relevant. And like I said, some of the stuff I'm excited about, Forces, Odyssey, will be. I'll have plenty more time to talk about them as they approach release date.
All right. Well, if you think of it, just stop us and let us know. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So off of Nintendo Direct, let's talk about. I don't know. What do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about?
We can talk about Firewatch. That's
Firewatch. Oh yeah. Okay. The PewDiePie thing.
yeah.
All right.
Oh God.
Okay. So
Because Scott wanted to talk about this one.
I did want to kind of talk about this. If you haven't already known, I feel like this is going to be us giving our opinions on it, though.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
I
why
don't-
people are here.
Yeah.
Fuck anyone else's opinion. Ours is the only one that matters.
Oh my god. I have
And if
the
anyone
microphone.
disagrees with us, then they should honestly probably not be listening to this podcast, and you should probably just go into a ditch.
I don't know about that one. But all right. So
we
you
can
know,
take a couple.
so the Firewatch developers on their website, they say that you are free to record, stream, and whatever of this game. It comes down to you're allowed to record your interactions and in the gameplay of you playing this game, and you can monetize it. After PewDiePie dropped the hard NER, they were like,
Yeah.
"I'm tired of this guy making money off of our game. Let's DMCA him."
What a coincidence.
And guess what? They succeeded.
Oh, oh my god, that's wow. So
Well, they.
that's crazy.
And guess what? They're in the full legal right to do that.
Can you explain where? Because it seems like they're giving everybody the permission to do it, including him, and then he did this. They did something they didn't like.
Okay, so it
was
It kind
never-
of reminds me of like
was-
endorsing someone, like a sponsor. You know what I mean? And then you say something and you use
alright.
sponsors.
I'm gonna try to take my opinion out of that, but pretty much they on their website. I found this out because I think it was Philip DeFranco made a video on it. So pretty much what happened was he or the developer, they had on their website that anyone can stream it, including him, obviously. And then he said it, and then they're like, "No, we don't. No, that's not cool. You're not streaming our game anymore." And then there's two sides of the coin. There's like, "Oh, well, there's other people that say the N word, and why are you not going after them?" And then, "Oh, but why on your website it says anyone can stream? So why are you targeting him? Like that's not fair." And I'm leaving my opinion out. Actually, no, this is a podcast.
you?
I'm throwing it in there.
You can put your opinion in here.
that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, mine is the only one that matters, and if you two agree, that's great.
Throw your hat in the ring, even if you're wrong.
Jeez. Honestly, and usually I don't agree with this, but I think if the developer wants to do it, let them do it. Because here's the thing, and this is more for PewDiePie. Honestly, and I know maybe me and Scott might disagree. If someone drops the hard R, you really shouldn't. First off, on Twitch, you really shouldn't. I don't care if you say it in your personal life or not. You shouldn't, because it is considered offensive. If you do say it though, I honestly don't think people should be like, oh my god, boycott him, like all that crap. But
But
PewDiePie is on the level of mainstream. Like he is the representation of us.
he was on the level of mainstream.
I mean, he represents streamers everywhere. He represents
I think he
video game
represents-
YouTubers.
Yes, I think
And
he represents a new age of entertainment in a way.
Yeah, he's even I think been on like
That's a good way to put it.
night shows and stuff. Like he's popular. He's famous. He is famous.
Yeah, when he
And
was
when
repped,
you say something like that, honestly, personally, I'm like, whatever. Like whatever. But if you're as big as PewDiePie, I personally think you have like if I were as big as you, PewDiePie, I would feel I have the responsibility to, and if it means changing my character slightly.
All right, so let me. You all right? Yeah, we.
I'm curious to
our
hear your
views are
thoughts,
very,
Scott.
Our views are very kind
Well,
of.
hold on. Let me can I finish just what I was gonna say?
I might forget what I'm about to say, but go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I think he is a major. You know, I already said it. He is the face of streamers, and I think he has to carry that responsibility of representing us in a good light. And when he does crap like this, it makes all of us look bad. It diminishes like, video game content on YouTube, Twitch. It diminishes us rising to be more of a mainstream thing. Because right now we're really not. We're kind of a niche still. And him doing crap like this is kind of upsetting because it makes the rest of us look bad. And the people that they don't watch streams or crap, when they hear about this, guess what they're going to say? Oh, well, you see all those video game people, they're fucking weird and they're, yeah. Like, it's a little upsetting. That's what I was going to say.
All right, I want to hear your thoughts, Scott.
So, all right. So I've seen I don't I've been with Felix since he had like 50,000 subscribers.
Oh shit.
Hmm.
So I watched him I literally watched like him go like do his thing. So at first I was a little upset. But then I kind of remembered that I was like, you can't really hold people to that high of that high of a degree. It's kind of like hearing a comedian do a racist joke.
Yeah.
I mean, like, all right. So, it's kind of like no different if you just take it out the setting. It's like Louis C.K. saying the N-word in his bit.
I was going to evoke Dave Chappelle because honestly, I see more of a
Yes.
resemblance there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel that? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely do feel that. I think we do give power to a word. That word is very offensive. I don't think we should really use that word. I'm guilty of, saying that word in here.
I am too.
The thing about it is that we give power to those things. If we don't really show, if we don't give it power, it doesn't have an effect. That
Exactly.
being
It's
said,
like, yeah.
what's up, Jordan?
It's like you can't offend me without my permission is basically the sentiment there.
Yeah, it's that being said, I mean, I make no qualms about hiding my power levels. Like everyone here knows I browse 4chan. So
No.
I mean there are guys in here with thick skin just as thick as mine. So, I mean, like, that could also be a little bit of bias towards it. But I feel as though stepping back and looking at it, Felix is a human being. He shouldn't be, like, the way I think we're looking at it is the way we would look at President Trump or President Obama. It's as if they said something that we didn't like, and they're like, "Oh, how can he be in like this?
Right.
He's supposed to be in the image of us. Like he's supposed to represent the American people. He's supposed to represent YouTube and Twitch." I disagree. I think there are plenty of content creators that do represent YouTube. For one, as much I don't watch these two guys. I don't watch Donkey. I think Donkey's up there. I think H3 is definitely up there, especially with the recent lawsuit. Everyone knows who he is now at this point.
Definitely.
iDubbbz, Franku, as what's the word?
Even yeah,
As not disgusting, controversial as they are,
right.
it's really no different. Like if you watch iDubbbz, he even did a video where he met, who was that chick? Do you remember?
Canamancu.
Yeah, and he was like he was like, say the N word, and then she got all upset, and people aren't, it's like the more in the spotlight you are, the less you're allowed to do, and the less you're allowed to be yourself. Granted, saying the N word shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't be doing that. It's not, a part,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever a situation where that's good.
Honestly, I see what you're saying, Scott. Like he shouldn't compromise the type of person he is
Yes.
just because he's a popular. I also agree with that.
I also let me say something else. He's drastically changed from when I was with him at like 50,000 subscribers. He, whether it be the money that he's earned, the social status that he gained through YouTube, or the numerous donations that he's made. I don't know. I don't know Felix outside of what I see on my monitor.
right.
But there are two sides. When he first started out, he was very much a very energetic Let's Player. Now, he's still he tones it down a little bit. I guess this is his real personality. He's a lot calmer, and he likes to make darker jokes. And I'm fine with that. I think dark humor is I think Let's Players are on the same, or getting to the same level as stand-up comedians, but you just don't have to stand up to do it. The thing about it is that
I hope they never sink to the level of stand-up comedians.
the thing about it is that if they're known for putting out, content that makes people laugh, you're gonna run into one or two jokes that may irk you the wrong way, but you gotta remember that it's a joke. But then there's the argument that is like, oh, he said it as like, like an insult and stuff like that. So I don't know. Bottom line is, we give power to, it's you can't offend me if you don't give it any power. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of
There is one thing.
What's up?
Maybe one thought to leave us on, or even if we want to keep the discussion going. So, I kind of wanted to point this out. When, like you said, PewDiePie has changed a lot over the course of this career, and I can't even. How many subscribers does he have?
He's got over 50 million, I think, now.
50 million. That was, yeah, it was a milestone.
It's a good population of the United States. I think. I'm being serious. I forget how many people.
Yeah. Well, he is Swedish, but yeah. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is, the money, no one can know how that factors into his evolution.
Mhm.
But I think the more important thing to keep track of is, if you have 50 million people where you could just plug yourself in to social media and interface with that much of a group, you can see patterns that maybe people in the outside,
Don't.
reviewers, journalists, they can't see. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can understand the kind of movement that's forming either with you or around you, even. So
Not only that, but you set trends if you have that great of an audience.
trends, yeah. Oh, set trends, yeah, absolutely.
If
so-
you get to that point, you do have influence.
Absolutely. And so if you're a Let's Player with 50,000 subs blowing up into the millions, you are a gamer who is defining in some ways and interfacing with the majority of the movement that would call themselves gamers or Let's Players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's really important for people to kind of understand that, yes, he is his own person and he should stand up for his own ideas, but but his evolution has to be seen, at least in part, as an evolution of his entire movement.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I wanted to.
That was really good,
there.
Jordan.
Mhm.
I feel like we haven't touched on the ability to just revoke the right to stream a game.
That's a whole can of worms for sure.
Yeah. Can we touch on that for a little bit? Because I'm kind of interested in that.
I guess we could take 5 minutes out. There's still a couple other things, but yeah.
So, if you do, my thing is that I don't have the article that explains why it's within their legal right, and I would imagine it is. I mean, you're just giving them verbal. I mean, it is written consent. You are saying on your website you can do this, but then it also goes to the point of it's kind of all right.
It's definitely not a guaranteed consumer right. So they
Yeah.
can, if you're the one who owns the property, if I make a game and someone says, I like this game because it reminds me of hate speech or whatever,
Mhm.
it's within the content creator's right to just shut that down.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, what were you saying?
It's kind of a slippery slope, and I'm going to try and navigate it as best as I can. So developers of Firewatch make, they make Firewatch. If you buy the game, you're paying the developers, and let's just say the money goes to the developers, right? Because I know not all of it might go to the developers. Let's just say it does for this point. A good portion of it, a very good portion of it, and I know that's true. So you're paying for the right to download the game and play it, right?
Sounds right.
So
And you have the right to. Okay, it's complicated. Basically,
at this
you have the
point-
right to a functioning game.
yes, at this point, where's the line that says I can only play it, but I can't record it? Because it's one thing. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, because there's
This is a whole.
there's the road where it's I'm allowed to play the game. Do I truly own the game? There's that
Right.
argument too, which is really interesting, because if it's my game, I can do whatever I want with it. But how much of it is my game? You know what I mean?
That's the issue, because in the strictest legal sense, this stuff is like supposed to be covered over U.S. Code 1718, which covers federal copyright law, and the DMCA. This is stuff that was written in 2000 and 2001. So it can't accommodate.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
My thing is what I see. So I start off by comparing it. Obviously, you can't record a movie or a TV show and upload it on YouTube. So why can we do it with video games? Well, there's two aspects of video games. There's the obviously you're watching it part and you're seeing what's happening, which it's very arguable that you shouldn't record. But then there's the playing aspect. You can't play a game by watching a video. Like you have to play it.
Yeah, streaming a game is parallel to playing it. It's absolutely not.
This is why this
the
issue.
same product.
And this is why this issue is so controversial because, for example, if I like, okay, I'm gonna compare two games.
Mhm.
A game like Minecraft, that should be streamed. That should definitely be streamed. A game like Uncharted 4, I don't know, because Uncharted 4 is definitely very story based. And if
Are you
I can
saying?
be-
Are you saying that it's a slip? Are you saying it's because it's more like a movie? Because that's what I'm kind of
yeah,
hearing.
because
then,
you got the more story, the more of a story slash viewing experience a game has, the
Alright.
more likely you should not be.
I have a
streaming.
question then. Then what
So you
happens with
can't-
the Yogs cast? I know they do the Ishmael thing, right? They
What
do
are you talking
they
about?
do a bunch of Minecraft let's plays of these
Yeah.
stories.
Oh yeah.
Of
Where does
story.
that? Yes, like
What do you mean?
if you Jordan, do you know what I'm talking about?
Like, do they copy stories from other games?
No,
in
there are modes and games, stories crafted in Minecraft.
Did they create that story?
No. Are they allowed to
the-
do it then?
Well, what story are they taking?
Hold on.
Because if you're talking about, like, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna be stupid here. If like Lion King, if they're trying to recreate Lion King in Minecraft, I don't see a problem with that.
No, it's not like that. It's hold on.
That's what I'm thinking they're trying to copy. While you find that, let me just continue with what I was saying. Like Uncharted, you know, if you were to talk to me as an 18-year-old or as a 16-year-old, what I would do if I really wanted a game like Uncharted 4 and I didn't have the money, what I would have done is just watch it. I would have watched the entire playthrough of it, and then once I finished watching, I'd be like, all right, I don't need to buy it anymore because I already have 80% of the experience.
All right. It's the Shadow
You know?
of Israfel.
I don't know what that is.
Is it a player created?
Yes, it's a player
okay.
created thing.
It's a player created game, so yeah, there's no problem with that.
I get what you're saying now.
You know
I
what
don't
I'm
think
saying,
that's a
Jordan?
problem. I don't know.
You-
Maybe
you
I'm missing something.
You
here.
understand? All right. Maybe I'm probably not great at explaining it, so that's why you don't understand it. But Jordan understands it, and I don't really know how else to explain it.
I mean, well, what I'm understanding is that they're creating their own.
It's not them.
It's who?
It's
This is so
think of it like a story mod.
think. All right. Yes.
Well, who's creating it?
Think of it
Like, I
as
don't-
think about it as an image board. All right.
Minecraft
Anybody can
fan
do it.
32 is
Yes.
creating it.
Minecraft fan 32 and Minecraft fan 105. You know,
Okay.
it's the same thing. They're anonymous. They just make it.
So you're telling me fans that watch the show make?
No. It.
Who's making it? That's what I'm trying to find out. Who's making it?
They could watch Yogscast.
They could, yes, they could watch the show. Think of it as
Who's making- who's
just
making-
listen. I'm gonna break this down. Maybe this will be easier. So, do you remember in Halo 3, Forge mode?
Yes.
Now take Forge mode, take those maps, and imagine the person that made the map also crafted a story with it.
Okay.
You play that map. Do you understand what I'm saying? Jordan, does that make
You,
sense?
oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I got
So
it.
I get it. So a fan made something within the game, and then somebody else streams that whole
Here's
thing.
my question.
Well, I'll give you.
How does who made it factor into the discussion? Is there preferential treatment for certain people's copyrights?
My thing about it is that if
Okay.
you make something in someone else's game and you stream it,
It's
whose property is it? Is it 50? Is it split 50-50? Is it 20? Is it 27? Is it 25
All right,
75?
I see
You
what
know
you're
I
saying.
mean?
I see what you're saying, and this is easy for me to answer. I'm that creator that makes that story in that game.
Mhm.
If somebody were to stream it, it's not like I'm of the mindset that you obviously don't own that. Like you created that and you shared it. You shared it with the world. Now, obviously, you share video games, so don't compare what I'm saying to that. But what I'm trying to say is, you created something within a video, okay?
Yeah.
And somebody else plays off what you created in that video game. I honestly think if
They
you create
record their
anything,
experience.
yeah, if I think that's fun. I think the person who created it has literally no say, because at the end of the day, how did they make that?
All right.
They made it through a
now
game.
here's the point I'm trying to get at.
Okay.
So Firewatch is an open world game, yes?
Oh, but PewDiePie made his own story in it.
You go to the different areas in a completely randomized order. You can tackle any part, right?
Oh,
that you
I
want.
see what you're saying.
You see what I mean? So
where
is the story in, Fire? There is a story in Firewatch, but what dictates the order the story goes in for it to be the story? You know what I mean?
I am of the mindset. I haven't played much of Firewatch, or I haven't played Firewatch at all. But I'm of the mindset that
Jordan, you played Firewatch, right?
No.
No.
I feel that Firewatch is the type of game that if I were to see a Let's Play of it, what?
No.
I should just shut up. Because from my experience,
No. You can have an opinion. No. You can have an opinion.
Because then it's just based in nothing. Because
No, it's not. I disagree with that. I think you can still have an opinion on something without physically trying it out. Obviously, your opinion won't matter maybe as much.
Disregard everything I said.
No. I wanted to point something out here real quick. That
what's up?
I was gonna say before I lose my train of thought. I feel, based on what I've seen of Firewatch, it is a type of game that if I were to watch an entire playthrough of it, I feel I base this everything off what I feel. I feel as though if I were to watch a whole playthrough of that there would be almost to no reason for me to buy that game. Now, compare that to a game like, I don't know, think of a big multiplayer game. I don't know.
You were about to say
Overwatch.
Call of Duty. You might as well just say Call of Duty.
I was going to say Call of Duty, but Overwatch is a better example.
All right.
I feel like if I watch
Overwatch is
someone
better
play
game.
Overwatch over and over and over, maybe I am less likely to buy the game, but that less likely, that percentage that drops is so small, I don't think it matters. Now,
here's another point. So, if you're a part of that and you watch it over and over and over again, at that point it's a review because you don't want to buy the game because there's a reason why you don't want to buy the game, right? There's obviously something. There are obviously factors and there are mechanics and factors in the game that turn you away from buying the game.
And that's a really big fallacy on the part of a lot of reviewers and certain people who are trying to make it out if you are watching a game, it's like the next step to piracy. It's because you don't want to pay
And
for
I
the game.
hate that shit so much.
It's definitely misguided. You talk about story-based games. I'm not going to buy walking simulators because they're not my speed and they're usually bad.
Not my
But-
speed.
my
I get it.
You
I
like
get
a
it.
running simulator?
I like running. I like Sonic.
Oh
You
my
gotta go fast.
God.
So what I'm trying to
Alright.
say,
What were you
like,
saying?
Life is Strange is a game that I would
Oh,
not.
God.
I probably wouldn't have bought it if I wasn't able to see some footage, some Let's Play footage beforehand. Shout out to Two Best Friends Play. They did a good job on that one. But I did, and then I played it, and then I definitely got to appreciate it on a first-hand level on the part of a consumer and a player and a gamer. Until Dawn is the other one. If I had a PS4 when that came out, I definitely would have bought it, despite how much of it I watched. And it's definitely not a gameplay-centric game. It's definitely a story-centric game. So I just want to throw that out there.
All right, so let me say something. So imagine, so if we aren't allowed, so let's have this crazy hypothetical, and this hypothetical literally is based in reality because think about this. All right, so imagine you're not allowed to stream video games, not allowed to record video games. In fact, the only gameplay you see of a game is from a commercial that is made and produced by the company making the game.
Right.
All right. So, how do you know if you will like the game? Through reviews and magazines, right? Even then, that could get a little sketchy. But because you're gonna take someone else's word for it. I would like to go back to like the late '80s, early like the very first video game consoles, like NES, Amiga, stuff like that. There weren't gameplay videos of that. You would have to have a friend who already owned the game.
Nobody's streaming Castlevania 2.
Yeah, you would have to physically get your hands on the game to determine whether or not I like this game or it's fucking garbage.
Same thing as what happened with CDs, basically. The evolution of sharing CDs to torrenting music or whatever.
Yeah. It's a really slippery slope because if you don't have gameplay, you're more than likely going to make more sales. I feel like, but I also feel like that's wrong. It's the way at the first week, if a game drops, you're going to make lots of sales in this hypothetical. The week after that, the sales are going to go down remarkably.
Right.
Because reviews are out, people borrow it from friends or whatever, and it's kind of just word of mouth at that point. So for the first week, they're going to be selling like hotcakes. Second week, maybe not so much. You understand? This makes sense,
I get what you're trying to say.
Fernando, you were going to say something?
At the end of the day, it comes down to like legality and
Sonic.
stuff. At the end of the day, it comes down to legality. And the way I see it, it's hard to this is one of those things that's very hard to quantify. And you have developers, you have the main argument here is where's the fine line? And this is not a black and white situation. Like I said, it's a gray area because where do you stop? Like, where is it going too far with the recording of and sharing of a game? I think when it comes to anything story based that the developer made, I think that should not be shown. Cutscenes should not be shown. I'm a firm believer in that because you're literally, the point of a cutscene is to watch it. And if you're just sharing that, then it's kind of like sharing a movie almost, except it's a very small clip. And if you watch all the cutscenes together, it ruins the game, really. Because you know what happens. That's why those YouTube channels, and I'm guilty, I used to watch them all the time. Those YouTube channels that show, I don't know, video game X, every cutscene. I think those are shitty fucking channels that shouldn't be up because all they do is just upload all the cutscenes. Because that's pirating, or that's whatever you want to call it. So it's a fine line, and I think we can make legislation out of it. It's possible.
I'm on the other
PlayStation
side.
already does this, by the way. If you there's a share ability during specific cutscenes in like Persona 5 and stuff. It'll say on the top left corner a notification saying you cannot share right now because it's a cutscene. I think that's cool, and I think there should be some sort of fine line drawn.
The thing about it is that Atlas doesn't allow you to stream Persona 5 to a certain point either. Isn't that still going on?
Well,
I'm not
Because
sure.
how do you implement that? And
Yeah,
be like, hey, you can't stream this. You could stream this, but once you get to this point, you stop. Otherwise, we're taking down the video or whatever.
I mean, I think that's within their right. I think that's reasonable.
And
honestly.
then I'm in the complete opposite. I'm like, I bought
that's
the
the
game.
thing.
This is mine now. I can do whatever the fuck
That's
I
the thing.
want to it.
There you go. That's the problem. And the problem isn't that we disagree. The problem is that we do. If that makes sense.
I
Like,
don't understand that. The problem isn't that we disagree. It's that we do.
it's not that we.
I don't say it
disagree.
like it is, but I don't.
It's not that we disagree. It's the fact that there are clear, solid points of view from both angles, and the only way we need to objectively look at it and objectively draw a line. And the only way that line will be truly drawn is if there is some sort of senator that makes a bill, makes that line drawn. Because right now, in theory, the line is drawn so that if it's a game, if the developer doesn't want you streaming it, you're not allowed to stream it. Like the law as of now, every video game developer out there can be like, nope, no videos on my game, and they are well within their right. But obviously, developers don't do that because that's suicide for a lot of them. Because one, they're going to get bad press. Number two, games like Minecraft won't shine. You know, games like I don't know. There's a couple of other games I'm thinking about won't shine.
It does
That's why
nothing
develop-
but
Well,
close
listen,
the
all right.
industry space.
I think there's a space. I think there's a point where a developer can say, "Hey, don't want you streaming that." But again, there needs to be that fine line, and right now the line is drawn. It's there. It's perfectly legal for every developer to tell all YouTubers stop sharing my game. But obviously that's not going to happen, and then because of that, the developers have the power, but they don't use that power because they know it's going to hurt them. But then you have cases like this.
If the developers can't use the power because it's going to hurt them, then the consumers have the power.
Yes.
Well, that's
It's not like they're charging like $300. It's not like they're literally charging it so only the bourgeoisie class can buy the game and stream it.
And that's what I'm saying.
Because
Like,
it's not like you're buying the individual IP. You know, like
Right.
I mean,
You're not buying it.
I mean, if you buy the IP, then I guess you can stream and record the video game to your liking. You know,
That costs a little more than
yeah, that costs a little bit more than $60. But if that's the route that we're going down it, I'm going to vote against. I'm going to vote. You know, my vote's going to be against that.
I'm with Jordan here. I like legally developers have the power, but honestly, most of them won't do it because we have power because we can give them bad press. We can do all these things. And I think there's your balance. I think that's where we're at, and that's where we're going to stay at unless somebody goes to court and this blows up and there's a judge that makes a ruling on this, even though there really already is a ruling on it.
Felix, don't go to court for this, please.
I mean, he'll lose. He'll lose in court. I'm assuming.
Listen.
all I know,
All right, so you know, if Felix went to court, this would be the end of this. We would find out very soon who wins and who loses.
Well, I think
Someone
honestly,
on that stage, like I said before, they have such influence and they're at that
the
spotlight.
developer's gonna win though. The developer's gonna win most likely because it's.
I didn't realize you were a court justice.
I mean, I've read articles. It's legal. What fire?
I've read articles. What
When
can you
Fire
cite them like?
I mean, games. Some I think it was like Kotaku GameStop, and oh god, here we go. All right, make fun of me.
All right.
I know you guys are. What you're
I'm gonna
thinking.
let
I'm
you.
listening.
I'm listening.
I'm gonna let you finish.
I'm gonna let you. Yes.
I feel like I'm in a cage, and I know there's like two tigers, but I can't see them, and I know as soon as I fucking talk, they're gonna to shreds. But anyways,
Fernando, despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
my understanding, that's a better phrase, is that it is completely legal for developers to do this.
All right, that triggers me a lot less.
And with that mentality, with that thought, I feel as though Felix will lose. Now he may win. And nothing would happen. Nothing would change in the industry. Nothing would change with YouTube. I think the developers would still have the power at the end of the day, but like Jordan said, they won't do it because it'll hurt them. Because we have power too. I think that as of now, that's the best scenario for both parties. There needs to be a little tug of war. No one party should have all the power.
Right.
Because if developers had all the power in the world, they'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah, they'd be gouging and messing.
they'd be
with
gouging
features.
shit." But then if we had all the power, then we'd be streaming and spoiling and doing anything we want, and that's
And
I don't
everything
think
would
that's
be
fair.
in early access. Oh wait.
I mean,
so, like,
my point is we're practically already there. Like,
I think we're in a good space. I
Yes.
think the system is being used as it is. I think we're fine.
nobody
Those
panic.
watching there were like, "Oh my god, YouTube channel's taken down. You're fine. You're gonna be okay. Unless you're a Nintendo content creator, because Nintendo
Alright.
hates shit.
I
That's a
wanna-
whole other topic.
Let's not talk about that, and let's talk about some other stuff because I want to at least get to these things. If we go 45 minutes over, that's fine.
I'm
But-
ready to move on. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like we've said a lot. We've talked about this for like 40 minutes.
It was a good talk.
It was. So what the fuck? All right. So I'm not interested in Call of Duty at all.
Oh yeah.
I am not interested in it at all. So, to my surprise, I looked at the fucking trailer for the World War II Zombies mode. Why isn't Sledgehammer making a horror game? I don't want a
Sledgemaker.
Sledgemaker. I don't want Sledgehammer like the trailer. They even said in the trailer that it's gritty and they're trying to be scarier. And I looked at the trailer and I was like, this is fucking horrifying.
Huh?
I was legit, like, they even say, all right, so the developers say that they draw on they say, Horsley said the mode will be grounded in a gritty, horrifying setting that draws on the developer's experience with horror games like Dead Space. Holy shit. Also, Dead Space came out in 2008. Imagine that's crazy that developers are drawing such, like, big, inspirations from games like that aren't too old, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it sounds like they have good creative chops.
Oh yeah. So I was looking at it, and I'm looking at the trailer right now, and it looks like a completely different game.
It's a good atmosphere, yeah.
It is a completely different game. I was like, because I do want to get my hands on this, because I love horror video games. But fuck, dude, I'm not about to spend $60 on a recycled Call of Duty just so I can spend maybe like 40 hours in zombies. I'd rather buy. But they should do what they did before. They sell the zombie edition. You know what I mean? Didn't they do that?
I think that would be a great maneuver here.
I think because I'm looking at it right now and it's fucking like. I think it can hold on its own. It looks like a standalone video game. I'm watching it right now. It looks like a standalone video game.
By the way, I've never heard of Zombie Edition. Is
Never.
that actually?
I'm
did that happen?
pretty sure that did happen. Hold on.
Do you remember which?
I'm gonna find out.
Okay.
But
It would probably have been after Modern Warfare 2.
it was after Modern Warfare 2, after 3, somewhere in the vein of Black Ops 2 and somewhere Black Ops 3.
Okay.
Zombie. Carry this conversation on so we just don't have dead silence
Right.
while I'm searching for this.
It definitely looks nice. My perspective is, yeah, pull Sledgehammer away from this and say something like, if you're an executive, say something like, hey, I like the work you do. You want to work on a new industrial sci-fi-ish horror kind of game? And if it's not Dead Space DLC, an original IP, I think that would be solid. The question is, how much of this is creative talent? Clearly some. And how much of this is the budget? If you pull them away from this and suddenly you're like, oh, hey, by the way, this has to release in a year and a half and we're only giving you this much to work with, how's that going to change? Are they adaptable, or is this...
What do you
I don't know. Is this just window dressing, I guess?
What do you think, Fernando?
Man, I just think of where zombies started. And it started with a simple map, very simple mechanics, pretty fucking awesome. And now it's it started evolving into more puzzle, which I love when games do like a lot more puzzle based things. I love that. Black Ops did a lot of that. Now we're heading into more of an actual horror kind of thing. As everyone knows, I'm not into horror that much at all. So I'm not going to like the direction this is going in. But this is pretty cool. I think.
All right.
I think
so
Yeah, you could still learn to appreciate it.
I appreciate what they're trying to do.
from VG247, it says, Enter Zombie Chronicles, this downloadable pack for Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Remastered, several classic zombie maps from World at War, Black Ops 2 for modern console owners. If purchased alongside the pre-existing season pass, it raises Excuse me. It raises the number of Black Ops 3 Zombies maps to 14, the largest collection in the entire franchise.
All right.
All
Would
right.
you mind? Would you be able to put that
Yeah.
in the channel?
Let me post that. I'm not sure if it is standalone by itself, because it's still not really explaining it. I'm pretty sure it's standalone though.
Okay.
It says it's not. Gamers Unite says it's not a standalone. Get this fucking Call of Duty Black Ops 3 Zombie Chronicles is not a standalone. Activision is a greedy, lazy company. Headline.
Well,
All right.
I think that's a pretty solid answer.
Yeah, I think that's
Activision a shit.
Activision being lazy and shitty. I would never have guessed it. But Activision, for whatever reason, if you're listening to me or any of us here and you enjoy shit posts, follow us on Twitch.
I'm down for a job.
but it's a good idea if they just release just as a standalone game all the zombies maps, because I'm not about to drop $60 on a subpar multiplayer experience
Right.
just to
I think. Yeah.
get like how long am I alive in zombies? Let's be honest. I get to around like 25, 27 and then I die. How many minutes is that? 30 minutes? 40 minutes maybe? It's not worth it. $60 for 40 minutes a game, and then it's going to die off once the new Call of Duty comes out next year, so what's the deal?
Right.
I don't know.
How do you feel about it?
I hope they keep puzzle elements in place.
Oh, they're definitely going to keep the puzzle elements.
And the thing is, I actually, but then like I really stopped.
Repeat
Yeah.
that?
I used to follow the story of zombies. Pretty interesting, but now I don't know. I haven't played in a while. I'm not invested. I have an Infinite Warfare, but I didn't even try out the zombies a lot. Like I don't know. I'm not into it as much anymore.
It's definitely all right. So it's one of those games where you can invite people over and have a good time. Also, that's why I kind of like it. It's that couch co-op thing.
It's a good party game.
It is. It is surprisingly a good party game. But the takeaway from this is I want to get Call of Duty World at War II, but I don't want to buy the World at War II part of it. I just want to buy the zombies part of it. I think that's fair enough to say.
At that point, it would actually, now that I'm thinking about it, one maneuver they could do from an industry perspective, if this was ever to happen, you honestly just release zombies as a $30 sort of mini package, and then you start branding World at War II or whatever new edition as zombies plus the story campaign. Like, I'm serious. It would be.
That makes sense, yeah. It's
it would
funny,
be an
but
interesting reversal.
It's interesting.
I think given the proper
Marketing
creative
team,
that could
yeah.
actually work. Marketing team and design team.
Oh yeah.
Just make sure that the elements are actually going to be worth people's time.
Yeah. All right. That's about
Yeah.
it for what I wanted to say about it. Is that it for what you guys have to say about it?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, did you guys read this piracy thing that I posted? Did you go through
Yes.
a couple of them?
Oh yeah.
I was looking at it, that's pretty interesting. So if you pirate games, you might have run into a few instances in games that you pirate where it soft locks you. Is that the right word? Am I using the right word? It'll stop you from progressing. That's soft lock, right? Or is that hard lock? I don't know. So I'm looking at it, and it's a really interesting case that developers would do, because it's much. I'm not sure if it was easier back in the days of floppy disks to do it, because I know that they would ask you security questions. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, guys? Like when you boot up a game, it would say like, answer these questions. They're in your They're in your game manual. The answers are in your game manual.
I do
Oh,
know
God.
about this being a thing.
Yes.
I never heard of that before.
You never
but
heard
there's
of it? That's a,
or
all right.
serial
So
killers.
I want to explain it to you, Fernando, because this is really interesting. So the way to stop anti-piracy back in the 90s and like late 80s was to have questions that were in the manuals that the games came with. So the only way to get past the security, the pirate protection or whatever it is, was to answer the questions correctly. Do you understand?
Yes.
So I know. I'm trying to think of games that did it. I'm pretty sure Day of the Tentacle did it. Maniac Mansion. A lot of the LucasArts games, I'm pretty sure, did it. I know Leisure Suit. I know Leisure Suit Larry did it.
Mhm.
It's funny that a lot of these games that I'm thinking of are point and clicks.
I like this
Um,
one here about the 1988 release, Zach McCracken and the Alien Mindbenders. That's one of the LucasArts. Looks kind of like a text adventure. What's it say? It says player had to enter a code based on a serial key printed in the game's instruction booklet. And if they got the code wrong enough times, they would wind up in pirate jail, where they receive a stern lecture about
Oh
stealing
my!
games.
It's just like Mr. Rossetti. God, oh my God! I think
I appreciate that. I appreciate that
That's
tongue-in-cheek
interesting. Yeah, it's funny.
irreverence, and it's interesting to know also that it was in that period in between 1986, when story-centric games were able to evolve,
Mhm.
and 1994, when the internet started being accessible to more people. That's a really interesting Wild West period for people
Yeah.
who are interested in the history side.
It's oh yeah, definitely. Like that was the Wild West of video games. Like there's really no
Mhm.
other way to put it other than that. Um. So I'm looking at this one that says OC Weekly. It says the Monkey Island Dial a Pirate. The original. It's and I'm gonna read this verbatim. It says the original copy of Secret of Monkey Island shipped with a cardboard dial with various pictures of pirates on it. Before the player could actually begin the game, he would have to align the face on the dial to match one displayed on the screen and enter the date that is displayed before the game can successfully run. See, like they had a bunch of these weird gimmicks that would just it was weird, you know? It was just weird zany like how do we stop people from getting our game and playing it illegally? We have to do this stupid shit.
Yeah.
Babby's
So-
first DRM.
Yeah. You're right. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Did you see one that you liked in there, Fernando?
I found, and I gotta. There was one in particular.
Mine was the Dark Souls one. There was just a phantom that was unkillable.
Hold on, where was it? Okay, yeah, the Sims. I love the Sims one,
Oh, the
where it just pixelates
Yeah.
everything.
you just can't
That-
see shit.
I like that one. There was a Quantum Break. That's pretty cool. The put the eye patch on your eye.
Yeah.
I think that's cute. I think that's pretty funny. That almost makes me want to pirate the game more.
Oh, I've heard about the Mirror's Edge one. So the Mirror's Edge one was there was a point in the game, the very beginning, like during the tutorial, where Faith would get vertigo, and so she would like you know how the ledges that you're supposed to jump off of are red, they're colored, right? As she would get closer and closer to it, like she would sprint and she'd start to slow down, and it was impossible for you to make the jump because of how slow you were going.
Oh,
Like-
wow.
Yeah, that one was really interesting. So I thought that was pretty funny. That's another one of my favorites. Now that I'm seeing this,
I wonder if I heard about that and then forgot.
that one, I mean, that was a good one. You probably did
Yeah.
hear about it.
Yeah.
Settlers 3, what is this? There are multiple things a city needs to function, and settlers sleep, players must collect multiple resources, food, iron, coal, stone, and wood, to bring their isometric settlements to life. For most people, that was an average task. For pirates, however, an essential ingredient was deliberately missing. In pirated copies of the game, iron smelters would only make pigs, not iron. And while pigs are certainly a useful resource, they have far fewer military applications. So
That's cheeky.
that is cheeky. All right. Last but not least, let's want to go into the FTL developers talking about Breach, Into the Breach.
I definitely want to do that if we can close on that yet.
Yeah. All right. So let's do that.
Into the breach.
So FTL is a game that I really enjoy. I've never beaten it. It's fucking hard as shit. There are clips on this channel of me not being able to complete it and getting absolutely cucked. That being said, I really enjoyed the game, and the developers made a very enjoyable experience, no matter how sadistic they are. But I'm kind of excited for Into the Breach. It's an isometric. I can't really say top-down after I say isometric, can I?
No, that sounds right.
Oh, top-down isometric turn-based strategy game.
Well, just isometric, not
just
top down.
Yeah, I figured. Just an isometric strategy game. That is, who was in here? Patrick said it was like Fire Emblem. I thought more of advanced battle. Fuck, Jordan, you know what I'm talking about? There was a game. It was a strategy game and used military, but it was very cartoony. Fuck, I can't. Advanced battle. I'm gonna look like a retard. Fucking god damn it! I can't remember the name of it. It was a game by Capcom, though. I'm pretty sure. Strategy game. And here, can you talk about it while I try and find this, Jordan?
Yes, sorry, I don't remember. I mean, it sounds like I might have heard of this. I mean, the whole unit control, this definitely feels a fair bit Fire Emblem. Visually, it presents almost a little bit like the Mario RPG. You know that one, Fernando?
Oh my god.
Oh,
I
by
love that
Square?
Yeah, like Legend of the Seven Stars and
one.
whatnot.
Yes.
It's interesting.
Advance Wars.
Advance Wars? That does
Advance
sound familiar.
Wars. Advance Wars.
That's only like one letter off in Japanese.
Advance Wars. It reminds me a lot of Advance Wars looking at it. I played the shit out of that game. That was a lot of fun.
Huh?
But, alright, so it looks a lot like Advance Wars. I'm sorry, Jordan. Continue.
Alright, well, I guess my thought that comes next is, how do they peddle this? FTL felt really unique before spaceship maintenance simulators became the flavor of the week.
That's true.
What do you call it? Yeah, I mean,
There's really no other way to say
quite-
it. I mean,
not quite the exact same design elements, but something like Starbound
mhm.
started to creep in on the same competition, the same player base
Yeah.
that might eventually be like confronted with the choice between which one to buy. And so, as for this, I think, what are its competitors in the market? What do you have? Fire Emblem Mobile? To a lesser extent, maybe you have unit-controlled off-genre games,
Yeah.
like Duelist, which isn't a strategy, it's a card game, with unit controls.
The thing,
So that's the next step if they want to sell this well.
the point that I see them keep making, it's like it's a strategy game at scale, and a lot of its enjoyability comes from the squads of mechs that you use to defend the cities, because there are a bunch of different. All right, so there are a bunch of different combinations. I mean, there are a bunch of different squads of mechs, and there's a randomizer option that gives you 3 random mechs, and it determines how difficult the game becomes.
That's good for replayability.
Oh yeah, that's definitely good for replayability. Another thing that I'm kind of interested in is I was looking at the trailer for it, and the environment plays a big portion of it. And I was reading through it, and they were saying that the AI is not the brightest.
Well,
It's very much it's more so leaning in your favor to an extent, because the Vec, the enemy, they will maneuver into, they have to maneuver to you, and then they essentially wind up their attack, and you can push them back into something that might hurt them. So an example that I saw was a Vec that was going to attack the reviewer who published this article, and he had a mech that pushed him into a locust hole, from Gears of War, because all the Vecs come up out of the ground, and once that Vec came out of the ground, the Vec that was on top of him got hurt, and then the Vec that was on top of him punched the Vec, the Vec that was on the same square as him. So it's about manipulating where they go and the environment. I saw in the trailer, they were pushing him into water. They threw a mountain at him. I was fucking hype. I think I'll pick it up. It looks pretty cool to me.
All right.
It's a very scaled down strategy game, and I feel like that's where it will shine a lot. It's a lot of people, when they jump into strategy games, they feel a sense of, they feel like they're in over their heads.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely overwhelming when you have a HUD with a million things going on.
Yes, very much so.
Here's unit number 212.
Exactly. It's definitely a welcome break from games like XCOM and StarCraft 2, if you want to go that far.
Right. I was actually thinking of the original StarCraft.
You're thinking of the original one?
Just to match the scale.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely, from looking at it, it could be Babby's first strategy game.
Right.
I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Oh, yeah, no, I got it.
It
Like
could
an
be
entry
that,
level.
but it has enough going for it, it seems, to where it's that even seasoned vets will enjoy playing the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's always solid.
Yeah. So it's simple enough. It's simple enough to pick up quickly, and it's difficult enough to keep you interested.
Mm-hmm. It has depth to it.
Yes. Thank you, Jordan. Very much has depth in it.
It's got my attention. I guess the next questions. I mean, price point is the other big one.
I don't remember the price in the article.
It doesn't seem like they've said that much yet.
That. How much was FTL when it dropped? 20, 25? Or was it 15? I can't remember. Let's find out right now.
Yeah.
But
You can.
I think they might keep it around that same price. FTL is what are you saying, Jordan? It's $10.
I think this would be a good. Oh yeah.
FTL
I think
$10.
this-
Yeah.
I think this could be a $20 purchase
You think so?
for sure.
They were also talking about
Above that is pretty ambitious.
they were talking about, to keep players interested, implementing new squads of mechs. But then they were also talking about the difficulties that come with that, and then you have to add, because you don't want it to be too easy to where it's it's boring, and you don't want it to be too hard where you just give up and it's unbalanced. Because if you introduce a new enemy that is essentially game breaking once you come across him, then it's no fun. And if you have a squad, if you have a squad that has a strategy that's unbeatable, then it's not fun. So they are going to have to figure out how to incorporate ideas later. They're going to have to figure out how to incorporate ideas into a product that is already out, because that's what they're thinking about. They want to implement stuff, like they want to update the game with more content to keep its longevity. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's solid. A little bit of development further down the line,
Yeah.
and maybe some more randomization options to help replayability. I think if they stick with that sort of framework, then they'll be able to market this really well. But just on a base level, it definitely looks good. It's something I could get behind.
Oh yeah, I'm interested. So, Fernando, you have anything you want to say about it?
I mean, I've never. My thing is, I've never been into these types of games. But from what you're saying and from what I'm seeing, it looks really unique. I would say. I I just don't have too much to say. I've tried getting into these games in the past.
Have
It's
you
just
tried
never.
XCOM?
Yes, I have. There's one that came out actually, Mario and Rabbids.
Oh, that one, yeah.
I mean, okay, so actually, in all honesty, people have said Mario and Rabbids is sort of like XCOM. I think, actually, now I might eat my words right now. I think that's what I needed. I think I needed a Mario game to show me how much I can enjoy those types of games.
Right, a stylized like entry level.
Something entry level, something that speaks to me.
Yeah.
So, who knows? Maybe when I finish Mario and Rabbids, I'll actually pick this up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all I have to say on it. I can't say too much because I'm not necessarily knowledgeable in this genre of games.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more a fan of grand strategy in the vein of a Civ, but
I mean,
I've played some like tactical type stuff.
the only thing I could say is Fire Emblem. But,
Yeah.
I played Fire Emblem. Okay, I don't care what anyone says to me. I suck. I feel like I suck at these types of games too. And like I need something very casual, very entry. Hopefully, this game has that option.
Also, you
Because I'm not gonna spend I'm the type of guy I'll play Call of Duty on the hardest difficulty. I'll play twitchy games on hard difficulties. But when it comes to RPGs and tactics and shit like that, I suck.
one of the other things before we, I feel like we're getting close to it. One of the selling points was that there is no real game over. You send your character to a different timeline. You send like one of your characters to a different timeline to start over.
Yeah,
So-
it's like Edge of Tomorrow, if you've ever heard of that.
I think so. But my question is if like if the squad levels up, is it something to the kin of like they get better as the more battles they do, and that one character you save will still have those abilities, and it'll be easier in the next alternate timeline playthrough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's my big question. You guys have any other questions?
No.
No?
Not really.
All right. I think I'm gonna wrap it up then.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while, so anything you want to say, Fernando?
I mean, there's a lot of fucking games to play.
True.
Holiday season has come upon us.
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
much as of today, actually.
Yeah, I mean, But it really has nothing to do with what we've been talking about. It's just more of something I'm excited for.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna end this then.
Oh, wait, Rapid.
Dude, we've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes.
R- r-
Do you want 30 seconds to talk about a game?
uh, yeah, actually, I do.
All right. Talk about it now.
All right, so I've been playing a game known as Player Unknown Battleground, and that game is pretty fun. It's best to play with friends. Honestly, it's a 1v1. You fighting against pretty much 99 other people unless you're in squads. Pretty cool. First part, you just gotta loot, get your gear ready, and then you start fighting. You can get really tense towards the end. It's really annoying when you die early though. But again, when you play with friends, it's an amazing game. I highly recommend it. Don't think it's worth it alone,
All right,
but
it's over.
yeah. Oh, I didn't give a rating.
No, you didn't.
Fuck.
You're not good at this.
You know
I
what? No,
rate it- I
no.
rate
it
Fuck it. I'm giving the rating.
All right,
Out of
guys.
PG.
If you enjoyed the stream, follow us on Twitch, like us on Facebook. If you really enjoyed it, check us out on YouTube. This is where the podcasts go. Check out the. Did I say check out the website?
Jeff worked really hard on it.
Jeff worked really hard on it. Above all else, guys, have a good night. Take it easy and peace.
See ya.